Before we start, I just wanted to open up and share a few thoughts. So, talking about Kareem, I don't think, make sure I get all my thoughts in line here. I don't think, when we're talking about the hit itself, I think the way I look at it was very clean. And I think I'm looking at watching the film, obviously watch the film, shoulder to shoulder hit. And one of the things that I think I have a problem with, I think a lot of guys in the league have a problem with, is the clarity aspect of what is asked upon us as players. Anyone that has played this game or even watches the tape knows that decisions are made within milliseconds of plays. And once you kind of commit to a play, you commit. Now, I'm not saying the rule itself is bad, because I love the fact that we're implementing things league-wide that are helping us, that are going to help us after our careers, that stay healthy, be healthy, and protect our brains. So I agree with the neck or head areas, but I think when a hit is applied and it applies to your shoulder, I just don't think that kind of falls into the spectrum. And I think he's been victimized for kind of the past couple weeks. And I just don't necessarily agree with that. I think we see hits all around the league where there are plays that are similar and they don't get called. And so I think the inconsistency and the lack of clarity in those things, and even coaching afterwards, if we're not supposed to do this, then please explain how it is supposed to be done. I think that will help us a lot as players, especially in the back end. One of the advantages that we do have is if we're not there to pick off the ball, we're there to separate the receiver from the ball. I mean, that's one of the advantages of playing on defense, and a disadvantage from a quarterback and receiver standpoint from throwing over the middle or kind of lofting a ball in a zoned area. A few other thoughts I had is I think the 4-game initial ruling was a little excessive. And I think the main reasoning is because that they knew that there was going to be an appeal and that you're going to get a reduced time. And the only reason I say that is because I'm not going to give specifics, but if you go back and look at our league's history, there's been guys that have done worse and have gotten off with less. And I'm not even talking about just in football. I'm talking about from a domestic abuse standpoint. I'm talking about from a DUI standpoint. There's just been things that have been done in our league that guys have been suspended on for way less, 1 or 2 games, sometimes a game, and then they appeal it and the game's taken away and they just get fined financially. And so I think that was something that needed to be talked about. And the last thing that I'll say about this is, even referring to the letter that was sent to Kareem, and so many words calling him a dirty player, that bothers me as a teammate. And I'm sitting up here talking to you guys, and I wouldn't be half the player I am if it wasn't for Kareem and the knowledge, both on and off the field, that he's bestowed upon me. And never at any point in time when I'm watching the tape from him or when I'm watching tape with him, does he ever come across as anything close to being a dirty player. If anyone goes and asks people that he's played with, college coaches, head coaches, defensive back coaches, teammates, even guys that he's played against, you'll never find anywhere in the vocabulary in terms of describing him that he's a dirty player. Kareem has to be one of the best people I know, one of the best teammates I've ever had. And anything that I am as a player has been because I've gotten a chance to learn and grow with Kareem. And so that the whole dirty player analogy that we're kind of trying to stick to his name and his reputation is, excuse my language, absolute bullshit. And I would feel like I would be doing a disservice if I got up here and didn't at least mention that. And with that being said, I would really appreciate if for the rest of this press conference, if we keep the questions and comments and concerns to Kansas City, because we are playing a really great opponent at home, a divisional opponent. And we all know, we've talked about it multiple weeks before about Kansas City and, the losses there. And so we need to be able to come at home and win this game. And with all due respect to who we're playing, I'd like to keep the rest of the questions, comments, and concerns geared towards that.